This quick yoga flow is designed to stretch the entire body while quieting the mind. Let's start by settling into a comfortable seated position. Let the eyes close. Take the hands to the knees with the palms facing up and start to tune in to your yogi breath. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. Hold. Deep exhale through the nose. We'll take this time to connect with the breath and to slow down, find stillness, find presentness, setting up for a mindful practice. So again, deep inhale through the nose, finding intention. Hold. And then long, deep exhale through the nose. From here, blink the eyes open and grasp the knees and begin to make a C shape with the spine, gazing in towards the belly button. This is our seated cat pose. And then inhale to draw the chest forward, coming into cow pose. The shoulder blades reach in towards one another, and we gaze forward and slightly up. Exhale, transitioning into your cat pose again. Try to keep the knees drawing towards the ground. And then inhale, come forward into cow pose. Use the core in your transition. And exhale, cat pose. Inhale again, coming forward into cow pose, arching the spine. Exhale, cat pose, curling the spine. Inhale again, draw the chest forward, coming into cow pose. And last round, exhale, curling into cat pose. And inhale, cow pose. From here, make your way into tabletop position on hands and knees. Once you're there, start to extend the right leg back, resting on the toes. Keeping the hips in place and keeping the shoulders directly above the wrists, start to reach the right heel down towards the ground. You should feel an opening in the calf as the ball of the foot grounds. And then bring the right knee back to meet the left in tabletop position. And this time we'll extend the left leg out long. So opening through that calf, we'll reach the left heel down towards the ground. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, bring the left knee back into tabletop position. From here, lift the right arm out to the right side. And then we're going to thread it through to the left side. So the arm will reach under the belly and through the space between the left arm and left leg. The right shoulder lowers to the ground, the right palm faces to the sky, and we rest lightly on the right ear. Take a deep inhale through the nose. On the next exhale, start to push into the left hand and lift the body back up into tabletop position. On the inhale, lift the left arm out to the left side, and on the exhale, thread the arm through to the right side. The left side of the torso melts to the ground as we lightly rest the left shoulder and left ear. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, press into the right palm, lifting the body into your tabletop position. From here, we'll tuck the toes and start to lift the knees off of the ground, push the hips up and back, straightening the legs, coming into our first downward dog. Start to bend the knees deeply, sending the chest closer to the thighs. And then straighten the legs out again, reaching heels towards the ground. Inhale. And on the exhale, start to bend the right knee, straightening the left leg as much as possible. Inhale. And on the exhale, switch the stretch. So this time, straightening the right leg, bending the left knee. Inhale. And on the exhale, find your neutral downward dog, straightening both legs. On the next inhale, shift forward into plank, so aligning shoulders above wrists, heels still reaching back, and the hips are neutral. On the exhale, use the core to transition back into your downward dog. Inhale to come forward again into your plank. Exhale, downward dog. On the next inhale, lift the right leg high to the sky, coming into your three-legged dog. Keep the hips square here. And then start to bend the right knee, and then open the hip up to the right side. Try to keep the shoulders in line with each other. And then square the hips back off into your three-legged dog, and start to pull the right knee in towards the nose. So we're floating through that plank position again. And on the exhale, drop the right foot in between the hands, lower the back knee to the ground, low lunge. Align the front knee directly above the ankle, and then whenever you're ready, start to lift the arms up overhead. We'll use the breath to inch deeper into the pose and into the stretch. So as you inhale, think about reaching the fingertips higher towards the sky and elongating through the side body, elongating through the collarbones, rolling the shoulders back. And then on the exhale, focus on sinking the hips a little bit deeper. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, release the fingertips to the ground. We're going to straighten through the front leg, flexing the right foot as the hips shift back. Hamstring stretch. So you may need to bring the fingertips to blocks to make the pose a little more accessible, or to some other prop that you may have. On the next inhale, we'll rock forward again into that low lunge. And then exhale, shift it back into your hamstring stretch. Inhale again, coming forward into your low lunge. Exhale, shift the hips back, hamstring stretch. From this position, start to walk both hands over to the right side. You have a few options here, so you can either rest just your right fingertips to the ground, to the outside of the right leg. You can do both fingertips to the ground for more of a challenge, or again, you can use blocks to prop the pose up. And on the exhale, walk the fingertips back to center. And inhale to shift forward again into your low lunge. This time we're going to take a quad stretch. So take your left hand to rest for stability on your right leg, or for more of a challenge, the left fingertips can rest on the ground. And then we're going to start to bend through the left knee, reaching the left heel towards the butt. We'll reach back with the right hand and try to grab the left foot. So this will also provide a stretch in the right shoulder. Just make sure that you aren't pulling the left foot over to the right side. Carefully release the pose. Plant both fingertips to either side of the front foot, and then step the back foot forward into forward fold. Let the head hang heavy, releasing the neck. Grasp opposite elbows. And as you breathe deeply, focus on releasing through the back. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. Hold. And as you exhale, release the fingertips towards the ground. And then bend through the right knee, straightening the left leg, and we'll plant the right fingertips to the top center of the mat, or maybe on a block, and then reach the left arm towards the sky. Deep inhale and start to gaze up past the left fingertips. On the exhale, release the left arm back down. We'll set up for the other side, so this time bending the left knee, planting the left fingertips, reaching the right arm towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen, reach higher, looking up. And on the exhale, release back into your forward fold. On the next inhale, we'll lift all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. And then grab the right wrist with the left hand. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to side bend over to the left. Swivel the chest open towards the sky, gaze up past the right armpit as you inhale, and then use the core to bring you back up. Switch your grip, take a deep inhale to lengthen, and then exhale, side bend over to the right. Swiveling the chest open towards the sky, gazing up, we inhale. Exhale to release. Inhale, reaching all the way up again through center. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. Inhale to halfway lift, so we press palms into shins, coming into a flat back, gazing directly down. On the exhale, again, fold back in. This time we'll plant the palms, stepping back into our plank position. Inhale. On the exhale, we'll lower down into chaturanga, so we bend the elbows, lowering the entire body down towards the ground. The elbows hug in towards the ribs. And when the shoulders are in line with the elbows, we know it's time to inhale into our upward dog. So lifting the chest towards the sky, The hips sink towards the ground. We come onto the shins and the tops of the feet, gazing forward slightly up with straight arms. On the next exhale, find your way into downward dog. Begin to float the left leg towards the sky into three-legged dog, keeping the hips square. And then bend the knee, open the hip, take a deep inhale, and then exhale, square the hips back off and start to draw knee in towards nose, flowing through your one-legged plank, and then step the left foot in between the hands into low lunge. The back knee lowers down. We lift the arms up overhead. Inhale, filing through the torso all the way up through the arms, through the fingertips. And exhale, sink a little bit deeper into your low lunge. Feeling the stretch in the right hip flexor. Inhale again to lengthen. And this time on the exhale, we'll plant the fingertips, send the hips back, straightening the front leg, flexing the front toes, hamstring stretch. Feel free here again to bring fingertips to blocks or some other prop. And then inhale, shift forward again into your low lunge. Try to get broad through the collarbones. And then exhale, shift back, hamstring stretch. Inhale again, shifting forward, low lunge. And then exhale, hamstring stretch. From here, start to walk the left fingertips, and maybe the right as well, over to that left side, to the outside of the left leg. Just coming into a different stretch. Take a deep inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, walk the fingers back towards center, coming into your low lunge. Preparing for your quad stretch, we'll either take the right hand to the left leg or take the right fingertips to the ground. Start to bend through the right leg. Reach back with the left hand and maybe grasp onto that right foot. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose. And on the exhale, gently release. Plant both fingertips, step the back foot forward, forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up to stand. Arms reach up overhead as the palms come to touch. Exhale to release the palms to heart center. Get grounded through the left leg and then start to draw the right knee in towards the chest, hugging at the shin. Keep reaching the knee higher. And then exhale, release the right foot to the ground. Get grounded through the right leg. Lift the left knee, hugging at the shin. Inhale, lift higher. And exhale, plant the left foot. From here, we'll make our way into a wide-legged stance. So the feet should be parallel, about 3 feet apart. And then slightly sickle the toes inward. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale to bend forward and then down. So this is our wide-legged forward fold. Again, let the head hang heavy. Release the hands towards the ground, and you can either plant the fingertips or the entire palm, whatever is available to you. And we'll be here for 2 deep breaths. On the next inhale, bend deeply through the right leg, straightening the left leg. Take the right fingertips to the inside of the right foot. Reach the left arm up and then over to your right side. So it's a side angle variation. Completing our full shoulder rotation on the exhale, we'll float the top arm down and then back into its original position and start to transition over to the other side. So this time we'll straighten through the right leg, bend through the left knee. Left fingertips plant just inside of the left foot, and the right arm reaches towards the left foot and then up and then forward. Let's complete that rotation by bringing the right arm down to the front of the mat and then back into its original position. And we'll bend over into that right knee again, straightening the left, and then again over to the other side, bending the left knee, and then this time transition over to the right side, bending the right knee, and then over to the left one more time, And then swivel both feet to face forward, plant the fingertips, and step the back foot halfway in. Pyramid pose. So the feet should be about a foot distance apart, both feet firmly planted and facing forward, and we'll halfway lift. So we'll take both palms onto the front shin, pressing, straightening the arms, flat back. On the exhale, we'll fold back in, so planting fingertips or just hanging heavy over that front leg. This is also a great opportunity to use blocks if they're available to you. And then walk the fingertips forward a couple inches. Start to lift off of your back leg. Rotate the hips open, lifting the right arm towards the sky. Flex through the right foot, lifting the heel even higher towards the sky. And on the next exhale, release back down into your forward fold. Inhale to rise all the way up to stand, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips. From here, we'll come into pyramid pose on the opposite side. So we'll step the left leg back this time. And we'll inhale to halfway lift again, flattening the back. And exhale to fold back in. Try to keep the hips square here. And then start to walk the fingertips forward, coming into our half moon pose again. We'll start to lift the left leg, lift the left arm towards the sky, opening the hips, stacking them on top of one another, maybe even starting to gaze up past the left fingertips. Try not to lock out your standing leg. And then look back down towards the ground, releasing the pose. Forward fold. Inhale, we'll rise up to stand. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, plant the palms, step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, upward dog, lifting the chest. Pause here. Inch the feet to the outer edges of your mat. And then start to bend the right knee, pulling the heel in towards the back. And then lower it back down. Inhale, bend the left knee this time. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, bend the right knee again. Exhale, lower. Inhale, bend the left knee one more time. And exhale, lower. From here, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, finding your downward dog, wide-legged. Pedal the feet, feeling how this downward dog feels different from the first one. And then find stillness. Bend your right knee and reach your left hand over to grasp the outside of the right ankle. Downward dog twist. You can gaze over to the right side. And then exhale, release back into your neutral downward dog. This time we'll bend the left knee and reach the right hand through, grabbing either the left ankle or the left shin. Take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, find your neutral downward dog. From here, lower your knees to the ground. Finding puppy pose, will extend the arms out long, align hips above the knees, and melt the chest towards the ground. The forehead can rest on the ground. Take a long, deep inhale through the nose to feel the stretch in the shoulders. And then take a long, deep exhale through the nose, releasing any tension in the neck or shoulders. On the next inhale, lift out of the pose and find your way into a seated position. We'll bring the soles of the feet to touch, letting the knees splay out, coming into our Baddha Konasana or bound ankle pose. So feel free just to grab the ankles and just fold over the legs. You don't have to try much in this pose, just hang heavy and tune into your breath. If you do want to open more through the hips, feel free to use the forearm and the elbow to push the knees down a little bit more. On the next inhale, lift the torso back up. Keeping the left leg where it is, extend the right leg out to the right. Inhale to lift the left arm towards the sky, and on the exhale, side bend over to the right. Swivel the chest open towards the sky, gazing up, and then inhale to rise back up, and exhale to float over to the left side so you can plant the left forearm to the outside of the left hip, reach the right arm up and then over. Inhale to come back up again. This time plant the left hand to the outside of the left hip, lift the hips up, coming onto the left shin and the right foot. Reach the right arm back behind you and gaze up. On the exhale, bring it back down to a seated position and switch legs. This time on the inhale, we'll lift the right arm towards the sky, and on the exhale, side bend over to the left. Swivel the chest open towards the sky, and then transition over to the right side, letting the right forearm rest, the left arm reaches up and over. Inhale to come back through center again, plant the right hand to the outside of the right hip, lift the hips high towards the sky, the left arm reaches back, gaze up, and exhale, float back down. From here, bring the soles of the feet to the ground, the knees come to touch, arms reach out long, and begin to roll down one vertebra at a time until you find yourself on your back. With knees still bent, let them fall over to the right side, noticing the gentle stretch in the lower back. And then take the knees over to the left side. Take a deep inhale. And then come back through center and hug the knees in towards the chest. From here, lift the heels towards the sky, straightening the legs. And then hug just the right knee in towards the chest, extend the left leg out long. And then we'll switch, hug the left knee in, extending the right. And then release both feet to the ground, both legs extended. Our final resting pose, Shavasana. In this meditative state, let all thoughts, all expectations, all mental checklists, just let them go and just be. Slowly wiggle the fingers and the toes and roll over onto one side. Push yourself up into a seated position. Bring the palms to touch at heart center. And take a deep inhale through the nose. Hold the breath. And take a deep exhale through the nose, sealing your practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.